Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Puppets. Today, joined by
Brett.
a fan of my seas, cracking some more beers for my birthday share. Well, pre-birthday share, because my birthday I got other
Early
stuff
birthday
planned.
share.
Early birthday share, and we're cracking some vintage Lambic, some vintage Geuze that I got on my trip to Belgium this summer. This was actually a bottle that was gifted to me from Ego, or Nice Beers on Instagram. I went to Ego's place, hung out with a few of his friends, and we had a bottle share, and it was awesome. You probably, if you heard his name before and followed what went down this summer, I did a video where we did a vertical of Oude Geuze from Fonteinen, which was awesome, where we tried, I can't remember. Since the paper label up until now, pretty much. But he wanted to give me a wow experience to take home, and something that he thinks is one of the best Geuzes around. He just loves this. So this is Golden Blend from Fonteinen, and this is the second edition of the beer ever produced, and this is the Fonteinen Oude Geuze Golden Blend from 14. So this is almost 10 years old. It's almost 9 years old now. Yeah. The first vintage of this was with some old Lambic that survived the thermostat incident at Fonteinen, which was an incident with a thermostat where a lot of beer was spoiled. You can read up on it online. This was the second time around. This is 7.5%. The first batch of this was 6.5 or 6%. And it's quite a different Geuze because there is also not just 1, 2, and 3-year-old Lambic in here. There's 4-year-old Lambic. And Fonteinen started doing a version of this called Platinum Blend as well. But that's just with house brewed Lambic. This is Lambic from other producers because they're both a brewery and a blendery. So, yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yes.
We got it poured in the glass, and you can see this is Lambic with age because it's starting to get that oxidized copper color. Yeah. Still a lot of carbonation on it.
Yeah. It's plenty alive.
Yeah.
But it has that slight copper,
rust orange, kind of hue.
Almost, depending on the light, a reddish nuance.
Yeah. And quite lively bubbles. A little bit more haze in yours, but we tried our best to not pour in. Look at that. Yeah, that's good. We did not get that in there.
Sludge.
That's sludge.
Yeah.
It looks very nice. Let's check out the aroma.
Yeah.
That smells really fucking great.
that has...
That's developed so nicely. I instantly want to drink this.
It's so nutty.
Really nutty, but also...
savory.
Yes, but also heavy sherry.
Yeah.
Heavy sherry, but totally nutty and umami-esque. It's almost like, do you know what I've started to compare it to in Lambic? A little bit like...
I feel like it's almost Asian because of this.
You're stealing my thoughts. Almost like, what's it called? The soup broth based you make in Japan. What's it called? Dashi stock.
Okay.
It's a little bit like the rich umami of dashi. Almost like a savory, oceanic-like thing going on. And
but also slightly herbal. And, yeah.
Maybe not so much herbal in terms of the umami.
No, but a broth, usually has some herbs and spices.
But not a dashi stock. So dashi stock is the base stock for a lot of Japanese cooking. It's often seaweed.
Seaweed, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, seaweed, smoked fish, katsubushi, or dried fish. It's both smoked and dried, I think. And then also sometimes niboshi, sometimes mushrooms.
Yeah.
But the big thing is the seaweed.
Okay.
That's like always used, and it's called something.
I actually see some kind of seaweed-ish thing with this.
Yeah.
Because
also perfume.
Yeah, but also because it has a bit of salinity, a bit of savoriness. Yeah, and as you say, like a sherry as component.
Kombu. That's right.
Okay.
Kombu.
But it has a sherry as component, but like
honey,
just like
toasted almonds.
Yeah, or walnuts.
Almost like a little bit like honey glazed.
It just has a bit of that savory nutty thing. If you kind of toast nuts, but maybe with a bit of honey or like a slight sweetness.
And this funk is actually it's medium. It's not like heavy funky. It's like every layer in here is really well balanced.
But in my opinion, a very good lambic isn't
No.
necessarily
It's the most funky. It's the balance between every
fruitiness, savoriness, like
sourness,
funk, sourness,
dryness,
everything.
oakiness. There's also like a good amount of vanilla, actually, I think, and like a creamy woodiness to it, like caramelly oakiness, almost. Something like that, or like just like a sweeter wood profile. There's a little bit of a sweetness underneath. It smells really fucking great. Yeah. Cheers.
Yes.
Let the tiny go.
Cheers.
That's aged fucking gracefully, bro. Yeah. That is delicious.
But also that
the balance on that. That's why
there's actually a bit of bitterness.
Yeah.
You know,
actually,
pithy, like a pithy,
almost like grapefruit pith.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's not like the pith of an apricot. You know, it has a bit of bitterness.
Yeah, but I'm almost getting like pink grapefruit or something.
Yeah.
Just like there's something that reminds me of grapefruit. But wow, this is drinking so fucking awesome. The balance on everything in here is crazy good. And then like this has so much going on. There's so many soft layers of complexity.
Yeah, it's
not much beer with this age carries this complexity and elegance.
No. Like lambic is more or less the only style of beer you could age for this long with success, like big success.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting something that reminds me of vanilla, but maybe it's like the sweetness of almond that you talk about.
Yeah, to me it's just
sweet
more
woodiness for me.
Yeah, it's just because I associate that, you know, fresh new oak thing. It's just a different thing than these old barrels. This to me is just much more aged and old and kind of and cohesive. but yeah, maybe like an almondy thing.
Loads of dried apricot, loads of dry sherry, maybe even like dry port-like oxidation.
Yeah, almost into like a hints of tawny.
Yeah, because there is a touch of sweetness, but it's perfect.
Dry.
It's But the thing is, like, it's the perfect like kiss of like sweetness, like just a touch of it that just pairs well with everything else.
But also walnuts because of the slight bitterness. Like I feel like it's that slightly like toasted walnut.
Walnuts has more. They have bitterness. Almonds don't really.
No. So it's
loads of apricot actually.
And old wood, old cellar, kind of
almost a bit like
basement cellar, kind of
almost chutney like, like an apricot chutney or something, because it's like dry and a little bit
slightly spicy. Yeah, I see that. It just has that sensation of going into being more dried in its character rather than juicy and, you know, fresh.
I want this to be a bigger bottle. Because this is so fucking tasty.
But also because the acidity
is perfectly balanced.
The acidity but what I also like is that slight edge of bitterness gives it something else, because it has a bit of sweetness, light bitterness.
Yeah.
Medium minus acidity.
It ticks so many boxes.
And savoriness, umami.
Yeah. But I think the savoriness to me is somewhat oceanic. It does really remind me of a dashi stock.
It's that mineral kind of oceanic.
Yeah. Minerality. Yeah. That's a.
It just has that sensation of almost like salt water having covered something, you know. And yeah.
I really want this to be a bigger bottle. I really, really want this to be a bigger bottle.
Yeah, but now that you only have what you have, you also
really savor
appreciate
it. Yeah.
So. But what I like about this is that, you know, it has age and it has all these...
But it has vibrancy and freshness.
Yeah, you know, again...
Even some bright fruitiness.
It still feels alive, you know. It still feels vibrant.
Like there is that chutney and dried apricot, but there's also fresh crisp apple and fresh, also bright stone fruit. Like there is a bit of that sippy tartness that you experience with fresh fruit paired with old preserved fruit, paired with the oxidized flavor of wood and... like the whole sherry thing there, and then there's like all the umami. There's the hints of spice. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Like kiss of bitterness again, like a walnutty, almost like a pithy, like old lemon pith or something, like dried lemon pith or something. It has many layers. You know, you can.
It's really nutty, actually.
That's actually, I'm getting that more and more, like that savory nutty. And as you say, like almost like slightly honey glazed or something.
Yeah,
because it has like a honey...
slightest kiss of sweetness.
Yeah.
But I'm partially doing it.
I'll go first this time. I'll give it a 98. Because I actually think it's very, very, very high.
It is world class. Yeah, I agree. I was thinking a 97. 97, 98. I was at a 96, but the more we've drunk on it, like this is also a really long review, so I'll do as much editing as I can. But it's like really, the more I drink it, the more it grows on me. I've come to find that like the Lambic I enjoyed the most are cruises like this, or for example the single that I put in the top 10. It was either that going on it or the Amand Gaston or the Amand Vintage Lambic I had at the brewery, but I thought the single barrel Amontillado was just maybe a notch better actually.
Okay.
It carbonated too. It wasn't. It was actually flat originally, but like having those beers there at the brewery was just like wow. It's just not. It doesn't have to be those like explosive American.
No,
crazy with it.
Not at all.
Like this is just.
With time, I've much more come to this. Appreciate complexity, but in a much more like nuanced
way. Complexity is just not just being smacked in the face. That's also why we're so into pilsners and all these things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be bold to be good.
No,
it can. Yeah,
and
it still feels
case in point,
alive and vibrant. But
case in point, Forever Darkness. Case in point. It was fucking great, but I'd rather have this again.
Yeah. I think this is I have no problem with giving this 2 grades above that one.
No, me neither. But you can also it's apples and oranges.
It's a completely different style, but I don't know. It's just I don't think we from all the time we've done these reviews, we haven't given that many Lambics above a 97.
No.
So I feel like if something deserves it, I feel like this does.
It's true.
It's the only thing we've given above that is more or less sin.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I feel like this is maybe even the same level as sin. We just had a different frame of reference back then. So,
Igor hoped it would be 100, but it's not 100, and I do not know what would make it 100.
And that's it depends on preference.
Situation,
style,
I don't know,
but also in style, what you just like.
I mean, when we had Senni, it was just like Senni Frontera. It was just like we were so.
But again, I feel like this is maybe the same level as when we had Sin Batch 2 back then, but it also didn't have as much age as this one has now. So, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's tough. But if you guys had a chance to try the 14 bottle of Oude Geuze Golden Blend from the Fonteinen, let us know. Again, thanks a ton to Ego/Nice Beers for the beer. You are the man.
Absolutely.
I'll put a link for his Instagram down below. He drinks a lot of awesome Lambic. Yeah, this is wonderful. So if you guys had this, let us know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and ring the bell for... I was trying to hold in a sneeze through the entire thing. Check out Instagram, all that social media jazz. Thumbs up. We're going to say cheers.
And sneeze.
And see you guys in the beer review.